coming, and it's still ridiculous. Poor Chris Mullin.
I mean, he touched his kneecaps with the ball.
2010, Blake on Timothy Mozgov. You knew this one was coming,
there it
right?
is. I was there for that. That's ridiculous.
The hand.
Oh, that's
the hand
just wrong.
is the problem. Let's just cut to the chase.
Wrong.
I mean, it's more of a thrunk, right? Like it's not quite clean, but it's still amazing.
1993.
Don't hurt him.
This is an example of what you call snatching the screws out of the rim. Literally.
They had to start reinforcing the rim at Staples Center after he did this.
Not just there, everywhere, Ramona. The Shaq was the reason they changed how the hoops were hung in the NBA. And Shaquille, I don't know right now, but he used to, for a long time, had in his backyard sort of the remnants of all the hoops he had destroyed in the NBA. He had them sent to him and then put up in the backyard of his home, and it was a beautiful thing. With that, welcome to The Jump. I'm Rachel Nichols. I'm joined by our senior NBA writer, insider Ramona Shelburne, and of course, our NBA champ, Kendrick Perkins. Friends, we're coming up in this show. We are trying to talk Timberwolves. They fired their head coach, Ryan Saunders, hired someone outside of the organization to replace him. We'll let you know how we feel about that a little later in the show. And coming up in this segment, LeBron James says he needs to adjust without Anthony Davis in the lineup. What do you expect to see from LeBron moving forward? First, though, we're going to check out who's in the zone, brought to you by AutoZone. That would be the Brooklyn Nets, as they just swept a 5-game road trip and have won 6 straight overall. They held off the Clippers in a nail-biter across the street at Staples Center last night. Perk, are you feeling good, bad, everything? What are you feeling about the Brooklyn Nets right now?
Look, it is, in the words of James Harden, it is scary hours for the rest of the league.
Yep.
They have figured it out. The ball is moving, players are moving, they're playing defense. You look at James Harden numbers, he's averaging 24, 11 assists, 8 rebounds a game, shooting a career high at 50%. Kyrie Irving is having a career year, averaging 27, 4, and 5, shooting 52% from the field. But here's the thing. They're getting the others involved offensively. And we all know that you're going to need the others in the playoffs to help you win playoff series. But also, when others are getting involved offensively, the other role players, it makes them want to play defense. And this is why the Brooklyn Nets defensively has risen in the ratings, because now guys feel involved, they feel engaged, and this is scary hours for the rest of the NBA.
Look, and they don't even have Kevin Durant right now. I mean, like that's what's real scary. And I want to say, a lot of us have talked and said negative things about James Harden or Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant over the years. They've taken a lot of negative criticism on social media for some of their actions or statements or quotes, or they give us endless fodder to talk about. Look, this is why they are all-stars. I mean, they are so good, and I'm just enjoying watching James Harden play right now. He is just a savant out there. I mean, we knew how good a passer he was, but every night that I watch him play, I'm like, there's 3 plays a night. I'm like, man, look at that play. Whoa, look at that pass. Like, he is running that team. And I think they're Kyrie, Kevin Durant, James Harden, they're in this place right now where they are all sacrificing for the team. And, Rachel, can you tell I'm already writing my story for how this team came together for when they get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not going to say finals yet, because I don't know how they match up with the Sixers, okay? Or I don't know. I don't want to count the Bucks out of the Raptors. But I'm already writing my story of how they came together, because, wow, they are really impressive.
Well, I'll tell you this, Rachel and Ramona, guess what? It is championship or bust for the Brooklyn Nets,
That's
okay?
True.
And if they don't win the championship, this might be the biggest bust, one of the biggest busts in NBA history. I'm saying it right now. This team that they have right now got to win a championship.
And look, Ramona, you always talk about peeling back the curtain, right? I will peel back the curtain. We had the Nets after the Harden trade on our Saturday night ABC primetime broadcast. And I usually do a sit-down interview with a player ahead of those games. The person I asked for was James Harden. And Nets PR was like, Kevin Durant is having this kind of... I said, look, the way James has adjusted his game since getting to Brooklyn, to me, was the key the key to the way this team is working. I have been so impressed by the way he has changed in ways that, frankly, people thought that he couldn't. And it is what is making this Nets team go right now. Fascinating to talk to him about all of that. You can still find that on our YouTube page. There's a little plug for you.
There you go.
All right. The Lakers, let's move on to them because they lost to Miami at home on Saturday in a game that went down to the wire. They were without Anthony Davis, Dennis Schroeder in that game. Afterward, LeBron James talked about needing to make some adjustments in AD's absence. Take a listen.
They're doing their part and more. And every time we're on the floor, we're all trying to protect each other and bring each other up, out on the floor every single night. And it doesn't matter if you're making shots or not. We are going to hold each other accountable. And everybody's just picking up in AD's absence. And obviously it hasn't been, in wins the last 2 games. But, we're going to keep on working our habits and continue to be great for one another. I'm not settling on what I am or who I am at that point in time, being able to adjust to my teammates, be able to adjust to the coaching staff and the system that we want to play at that point in time. So I think that's what it all boils down to. And, right now is another challenge for me to be able to adjust, not having AD for a long period of time is something that we haven't had over the last year and a half. And now it's time for me to adjust again and see ways I can be even more effective to help this team win ball games. Because that is the sport that we're in. We're in the winning business, and I've always been a winner. So it's time to click into that.
So interesting stuff there from LeBron. Ramona, what adjustments do you expect to see from LeBron with AD out?
Right. He doesn't need to do anything different. He's doing everything. Listen, you know what he's doing right now? He's saying, I'm going to do more, even though he's already doing everything. And I think probably Laker fans cringe when he says that because that probably means he's going to take over even more than he has been. Look, what can he do? I think he's been trying to set people up more. I think he's been trying to get his teammates going. He can be a little more selfish. You want to be a little more selfish? Okay. You can go be a little more dominant. But Perk, you know how Bron is. He's just being a good teammate right now. He's saying it's on me, not you. But the truth is, they're one Alex Caruso shot away at the end there from winning that game against Miami. They weren't that far off.
Well, I will say this, from being on teams with LeBron James, he's going to trust his teammates, and he's going to continue to pass the ball. But from what I got from that post-game interview is that he's going to be more aggressive offensively because his teammates haven't stepped up and been making shots. So those points per game is going to go up for LeBron James. Those shot attempts per game is about to go up for LeBron James because he's going to pass the ball. But if they're not going to cash in and knock down shots, he's going to say, you know what, I'm going to take over. And that's what he do. I've seen him do it numerous of times on plenty of occasions. When teammates wasn't producing, he just elevated his game even more. So I'm expecting a couple 40-point nights. I'm expecting a couple 50-point nights from LeBron James while Anthony Davis is out.
Well, it's funny, though, Perk, that you mentioned that because it's not just his point totals that go up in a case where Anthony Davis is out. You look at the numbers of his minutes per game. You look at the numbers of his touches per game. If you look at the time period before Anthony Davis had that initial injury, he was ranked 50th in the NBA in minutes per game, which is what you want for your 36-year-old superstar that you are trying to keep fresh after a shortened off season going into another postseason run. Now, since AD first started getting out of the lineup, first in the league in minutes per game. His touches have shot up too. That is something that the Lakers are going to have to monitor. I know that obviously LeBron would still like to win MVP, so that campaign is going to be ongoing through AD's absence. I know that the Lakers, that you can say seeding isn't important, but they do want to end up in the top half of the bracket, and there are some seeding issues there. He will still need to be that driving force for the Lakers, and they will just need